Hey there, Bright Light, and welcome to this week's episode of Urban Shamanism with me, Steffi Funk, where I give you the sacred tools for an extraordinary life in the concrete jungle. And this week we are in episode number 2 of our 12-part video series, The 12 Universal Laws of Divine Purpose, where I am sharing with you laws as sure as gravity that you can rely on for both clarifying and manifesting your divine purpose, so you can work with the flow of the universe instead of against it. With that, let's dive right into today's episode, which is the second law of divine purpose. So today we're going to talk about what that second law is, where you might get stuck, and finally, a weekly inner shaman practice that will allow you to energetically use this law to your advantage. So, have you ever thought to yourself, if only I knew what my divine purpose was? Well, here's a hint. You probably do. But because of the second law, you think you don't. Confused? I know, that's the universe's sense of humor giving you yet another paradox. Okay, here's what I mean. Here's the second law. Divine purpose is always based on the crazy divine idea. Here's what this means. The creative energy of the universe, call it God, source, spirit, whatever you want, created you to experience the joy of its own expansion, and it gave you the same ability. So the divine purpose you create is also going to push you to the edges of expansion, which means it's going to be uncomfortable and irrational to the left-brained ego mind. Here's where you might get stuck. Most of us already actually have an inkling of our divine purpose, but have dismissed it as too extra or impossible. But the magic happens when we acknowledge it, even though it's crazy. Think about me. When I had an inkling back in 2011 that I was supposed to study shamanism and work with energy, this was totally irrational and it felt scary, yes, but it also felt expansive and joyful. But it's so easy to discount or put it off till later. But I'll tell you, that's a trick of the ego, left brain, designed to keep you small. And if you fall prey to it, someday will never happen. So remember, the divine idea is always crazy. And if you've been inspired with it, you've also been given the means with which to create it. So here's your weekly inner shaman practice. Give voice to your crazy divine idea. That thing that you've dismissed as too much, too irrational, too who am I to make this happen, or how could that possibly work? I don't care if it's ballroom dancing or jewelry making or being a public speaker or writing a book or owning a wellness center or beekeeping or working with energy. Give it a voice and honor it. Let it be the seed that you are going to nourish, that you're committed to, even though you don't know the how right now. That's okay. You don't have to know. All you need to honor in this moment is the what. Remember today's paradox. You kind of sort of almost have to feel like you can't do it in order for it to be the thing that you were put here to do. Because otherwise, it's not expansion. You're not getting out of your comfort zone. So here's what you learned today. 1, the second law of divine purpose, which is the divine idea is always crazy. 2, where you might get stuck with it. And 3, how to work with it energetically. Now it's time to take action. Download your cheat sheet that I've made for you, which is the 12 Universal Laws of Divine Purpose at steffifunk.com/divine purpose laws. I've also included the link for you below, but if you don't see it, let me know and I'll get it to you. Then let me know in the comments, what is your crazy divine idea? Even if it feels irrational, remember you don't need to know the how right now. Give it a voice by commenting below so we can power it up energetically together. I am so proud of you for being willing to get uncomfortable in the name of your divine purpose. With that, I'll see you next week with the next episode of Urban Shamanism and the third universal law of divine purpose. You don't want to miss this. See you then.